Good evening to all of you. Today we are going to start last chapter of SP, chapter number 5th. First chapter we have completed issue of shares. Second chapter also completed transfer of shares. Third one is debenture completed. Fourth one is membership completed. Sixth chapter I think meeting of the company completed. And seventh last one is dissolution of the company, means winding up of the company is completed. The total 6 chapter is completed out of 7. Today we are going to start last chapter, new chapter, chapter number 5. Chapter number 5. Name of the chapter I think directors of the company. Director of the company. Exact name of the chapter I do not remember, but directors of the company I think. So, okay, start. New chapter, chapter number 5, directors of the company. Now, first of all, what is the definition of director? The simple meaning is the person who occupies the position of director. Means here director is not a person, that is the position, post. The person who occupied or appointed on that post, that person is called a director. So the person who occupies the position of director, is called director of the company. And what is the function of director? We all know the function of top level management. The function of director is to prepare major policies or taking major decisions for the company. So the person, another definition, the person who formulates major policies and taking major decisions for the entire organization is called directors. So the person who occupies the position of director is called director of the company, and the person who formulates major policies and taking major decisions for the entire organization is called directors. And what is the meaning of board of directors? One line definition: group of directors. Group of directors is called board of directors. Group of directors is called board of directors. So this is the meaning of director. First topic is completed. Now next topic is status of legal status of director. What is the position? What is the status of director in any company? That is called legal status of director. So new topic is legal status of director. Legal status of director. First one is director as representative, means they are representatives. Second one is director as an administrative partner, administrative partner. Third one is director as a trustee, and fourth, director as an employee. As an employee. Now first one is director as representative, means director is playing the role of all these four components. Means director is a representative, he is also an administrative partner, he is also considered as trustee, or director is also considered as an employee. Now first one is how director or why director is considered as representatives. First one, simple explanation is there, you can write in your own words. We all know that in every public company there are shareholders which are in large number, means shareholders are in enormous number. Shareholders are in large number, and it is not possible for all shareholders to take active part in the affairs, in the activities of business unit. They are not able to attend every general meeting. Means it is not possible for all shareholders to take active part in business activities. Besides this, they are not able to attend each and every general meeting. It means shareholders, all shareholders are not in a position to take care of company, to take care of company growth and development of company. That's why among all those shareholders, few shareholders are elected through voting process. Few shareholders are elected through voting process as their representatives. As their representatives. And these representatives are called director of the company. Directors of the company. So, directors are always elected by shareholders through voting process. And what is the function of directors? They have to protect. We have already done in debenture chapter also that the function of debenture trustee is to protect the interest of all debenture holders. In the same way, the function of director is to protect the interest of all shareholders. Means on behalf of all shareholders, directors are taking major decisions or making important policies, significant policies for the development, growth or progress of the company. It means directors are act as a representative. On behalf of this, they are representative of all shareholders. Once again, how to explain this point? Directors as a representative. Shareholders are in large numbers in any public company, and it is not possible for all shareholders to attend every general meeting, to take active part in the business activities. It means they are not in a position to protect their economic interest. They cannot protect their economic interest. That's why, or as a result, among all shareholders, few shareholders are elected as their representatives, and these representatives are called directors. It means the function of director is to protect the economic interest of all shareholders. To protect the economic interest, it means whatever money is invested by shareholders, it is the duty of directors to utilize such funds in the best possible manner so that shareholders will get fair return. Means fair return means they will get handsome dividend, and invested amount will be protected also. That's why the value of share will increase. So their directors are act as a representative for all shareholder. Now director as an administrative partners. When we are writing here director as an administrative partner, it means we are discussing about board of directors, because we all know that in public company there must be minimum 3 directors. कम से कम किसी भी पब्लिक कंपनी में 3 डायरेक्टर होते हैं और वो तीनों डायरेक्टर मिलकर ही कोई डिसीजन लेते हैं. मींस ऑल डायरेक्टर्स बोर्ड ऑफ मींस दे आर कॉल्ड बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. नाउ हाउ द डायरेक्टर्स इन बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, ऑल डायरेक्टर्स आर एक्टिंग एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पार्टनर. So again same explanation we have to give as we have done in first point, that all directors are elected by shareholder through voting process. They act as a representative of all shareholder. They need to take major decisions for the benefit, for the growth, for the development, for the progress of the company, as well as for the benefit of shareholders. Now the same point, next point, administrative directors are considered as administrative partner. Why they are called partner? Because whatever decisions are taken by directors, that will be taken with the mutual agreement. Mutual agreement of all directors. Means in second point, first of all you have to explain the explanation of first part of explanation will be the same as we have done in first part, first point, that directors are elected by shareholders through voting process. They are representative of all shareholders. They need to protect the economic interest of shareholders. Then second part, board of directors are also considered as administrative partner. Now why administrative partner? The answer is because whatever policies they are making, whatever decisions they are taking, such decisions, such policies are taken or made with the mutual agreement of all directors. Means mutual agreement of all directors means directors, individual directors cannot take any decision. So individual directors cannot take any decision or cannot formulate any policy. They need to consult other directors also, and with the mutual consent of all directors, a final decision can be taken or major policies can be prepared. Now, how this administrative partner means how director as an administrative partner are different from partners in partnership firm. We have already done in accounts also partners in partnership firm. Partners in partnership firm. Because here we are taking or considering director as an administrative partner. Here partner word is used. So how this director as an administrative partner are different from partners in partnership firm? What is the difference? The first point in this second point, that in case of partnership firm, all partners have a permanent relation. First, partners have permanent relation. In partnership firm. Wait, I am explaining all points one by one so that you can prepare notes also. Director as an administrative partner, the first part of this answer means first part of explanation is same as we are done in first point, means representative, that directors are elected by shareholders through voting process. They are representative of all shareholders and their main function is to protect the economic interest of all shareholders. That's why they are considered as representative of shareholders. Now second point is director as an administrative partner. First part remains same. Second part, directors are considered as an administrative partner. Reason, they have to take decisions or formulate policies with the mutual agreement or mutual consent of all directors. In other words, we can say decision cannot be taken by any individual director. Decision cannot be taken by any individual director. That's why, because decision they have to take with mutual agreement or they need to formulate any policies with mutual consent, means all directors have to give their consent for taking decision or for formulating policies. That's why they are considered as administrative partner. So they are considered as administrative partner. Now, how director as an administrative partner is different from partners in partnership firm? The first point, in case of partners in partnership firm, they have permanent or long-term relation. Permanent relation. Why they have permanent relation? They have joined together and start a business. Till then business exists, or till then any misunderstanding does not arise, any conflicts does not arise, or till then if any person or any partner does not die or insolvent, till then they can continue business for a longer time of period. So they have permanent relation. But in case of director and administrative partner, they do not have a long-term relation. They do not have long-term relation. They here means directors. Directors do not have long-term relation. Why? Because according to Companies Act 2013, every year 1/3 of 2/3 directors. I will explain later on, but right now in simple language, every year 1/3, इसके पहले आपको समझा देता हूँ शॉर्टकट में। किसी भी कंपनी में जितने भी डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं वो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि मिनिमम पब्लिक, अभी हम बात करते हैं वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पब्लिक कंपनी। इन केस ऑफ पब्लिक कंपनी मिनिमम डायरेक्टर्स मस्ट बी 3 और मैक्सिमम कितने हो सकते हैं? 15 से ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं, बट बाय पासिंग स्पेशल रेजोल्यूशन एंड टेकिंग द परमिशन ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट दे कैन इंक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स। वो हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे, अभी मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम डायरेक्टर्स देखते हैं। किसी भी पब्लिक कंपनी में कम से कम 3 डायरेक्टर और ज्यादा से ज्यादा 15 डायरेक्टर हो सकते हैं। अब सपोज करो आप किसी एक कंपनी में टोटल देयर आर 6 डायरेक्टर्स, 6 डायरेक्टर्स है। नाउ व्हाट इज द रूल? आउट ऑफ टोटल डायरेक्टर्स 1/3 directors are always appointed by central government. In any public company, 1/3 of total directors are appointed by central government. For example, हमने यहाँ पे लिए 6 डायरेक्टर्स, इसका 1/3 कितना होता है? 6 into 1/3, 2 डायरेक्टर्स। तो out of 6, 2 directors are always appointed by central government, and remaining 2/3 means, according to our example, 4 directors. They are called 2/3 directors. Their name is 2/3 directors. Out of total directors, 1/3 directors are appointed by central government and 2/3 directors are appointed by shareholders through voting process. Now, out of 2/3 directors, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स वी कैन टेक राउंड फिगर 1. सो हर साल एक या दो डायरेक्टर्स रिटायर होंगे इन दिस वे. अगर हम एक डिविजन नंबर ले लेते हैं तो डिवाइड हो जाएगा आराम से. सपोज टोटल देयर आर 18 डायरेक्टर्स. So 1/3 is 6. These directors are appointed by central government. Now remaining directors are 12. This is called 2/3 directors. अभी डिवाइड हो जाएगा आराम से. Now rule is 1/3 of 2/3 means 1/3 of 12. It means 4 directors. Every year 4 directors will retire. हर साल 4 डायरेक्टर रिटायर होंगे. 4 पहले साल में, 4 दूसरे साल में, 4 तीसरे साल में. Means in 3 years all these directors will retire. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि पोजीशन खाली हो जाएगी. 4 डायरेक्टर रिटायर होंगे तो उसके बदले में 4 नए डायरेक्टर आएंगे. फिर अगले साल फिर 4 डायरेक्टर रिटायर होंगे उसके बदले में नए 4 डायरेक्टर आएंगे. In this way, but rule is what? 2/3, 1/3 of 2/3 directors. Not we are not talking about 1/3 directors which are appointed by central government. इनका टाइम पीरियड होता है 5 साल का, 5 years का. We are talking about 2/3 directors. So 1/3 of 2/3. According to our example, 2/3 directors are 12. 18 into 2 by 3. 1/3 6 हो गए. जो बाकी बचेंगे वो 2/3 है. That is 12. और 1/3 of 2/3 means 1/3 of 12 is 4. It means every year 4 directors will retire on the basis of seniority. उनकी उम्र के हिसाब से उनको हर साल हर 1 साल के बाद रिटायर किया जाएगा. 4 रिटायर होंगे, 4 नए आएंगे. फिर अगले उसके उनमें जिसकी एज ज़्यादा होगी वो फिर 4 रिटायर होंगे, 4 नए आएंगे. दिस इज द रूल रिगार्डिंग 2/3 डायरेक्टर्स. तो वही यहाँ पे वही लिखा है डायरेक्टर्स क्योंकि जल्दी जल्दी रिटायर होते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई दे डू नॉट हैव लॉन्ग टर्म रिलेशन बिकॉज एवरी ईयर 1/3 ऑफ. नाउ यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस लैंग्वेज. एवरी ईयर 1/3 ऑफ 2/3 रिटायर्स. हर साल 2/3 का 1/3 जो वो रिटायर होते हैं. मीन्स इन 3 years all directors retires. That's why they are not able to establish long term relation. But if you talk about partners in partnership firm, जब तक बिजनेस चलता रहेगा तब तक उनके बीच में रिलेशन रहेगा. या कोई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग ना हो या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स ना हो या किसी पार्टनर की डेथ ना हो जाए. टिल देन दे कैन कंटिन्यू द पार्टनरशिप फर्म. That's why they have long term relation or permanent relation. This is the first point. How director as an administrative partner is different from partners in partnership firm. Now second point. Second point. In case of partnership firm, in case of partnership firm, one partner can blame other partner for any failure in business or for any wrong decision taken by partner. One partner can blame other partner in case of partnership firm. But so far as company is concerned, public company is concerned, because directors are considered as administrative partner, so directors cannot blame other director. One director cannot blame other director for any wrongful act. कोई भी गलत काम कंपनी में हो उस काम के लिए एक डायरेक्टर दूसरे डायरेक्टर को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते. रीजन इज because all decisions are taken by the mutual agreement of all directors. Because यहाँ पे जो भी एग्रीमेंट बनते हैं, जो भी डिसीजन लेते हैं, इन केस ऑफ पब्लिक कंपनी सभी डायरेक्टर्स मिलके डिसीजन लेते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई वन डायरेक्टर कैन नॉट ब्लेम अदर डायरेक्टर फॉर एनी रॉन्गफुल एक्ट. तो इन केस ऑफ कंपनी वन डायरेक्टर कैन नॉट ब्लेम other director for any wrongful act. So this is the difference between the partners, means director as an administrative partner and partners in partnership firm. It has two parts. One, director, how director are representative. Then in second part you have to explain how director act as an administrative partner, because all decisions are taken by director with mutual agreement. That's why they are considered as administrative partner. Now how these partners are different from partners One is partners in partnership firm have permanent relation or long-term relation, whereas in case of public company, directors as a partner, they do not have long-term relation. Why? According to provision of Companies Act 2013, one-third of two-third directors retires every year. Means in 3 years, all directors retires. That's why they do not have long-term relation. Second point is, in case of partnership firm, one partner can blame other partner for any wrongful act, whereas in public company, one director cannot blame other director for any wrongful act. Reason, in case of public company, or it is compulsory, mandatory for all directors to take decision with mutual agreement. Second point is completed. Director as an administrative partner. है टाइम है नहीं. थर्ड इज डायरेक्टर एज अ ट्रस्टी. Director as a trustee. Now, how director act as a trustee in the company? First of all, again 2-3 lines are same as we have done in director as a representative. For example, in public company, directors are elected by shareholders through voting process. They are considered as representative of all shareholders. Their main function or their objective is to protect the economic interest of all shareholders. Means their function is also to protect the property, the assets of the company, because they are protecting the assets or property of the company on behalf of all shareholders. That's why they are considered as trustee. Considered as trustee. Reason, their main function is to protect the property or assets of the company on behalf of all shareholders. Now question is, that's why they are considered as trustee. But now second question is, how director as a trustee is different from original trustee. जो ट्रस्टी हम सुनते हैं उसमें और डायरेक्टर जो ट्रस्टी के जैसे काम कर रहे हैं, उन दोनों में फर्क क्या है, डिफरेंस क्या है? फर्स्ट डिफरेंस, ट्रस्टी कैन use the property of trust. जिस ट्रस्ट में भी जो ट्रस्टी है, they can use the property of trust in their own name. वो अपने नाम से उस ट्रस्ट की प्रॉपर्टी को यूज कर सकते हैं. बट सो फार एज डायरेक्टर्स आर कंसर्न, no doubt that they are acting as a trustee, but they cannot. They means again directors cannot use the property of public company or company, use the property of company in their own name. This is the difference, first difference. Second one is trustee means the original trustee, they can enter into any agreement with their own name. They can enter into agreement, or they can file case against third party in their own name, which directors cannot do. In short, I am writing which directors cannot do. Which directors cannot do means, on the other hand, directors in company, they cannot enter into any agreement with their own name, or they cannot file any case against third party in their own name. They have to enter into an agreement by the name of company. They can file case against third party by the name of company. So they are act as a trustee but not as a real trustee. So this is the difference between the director as a trustee and a real trustee. That real trustee can use the property of the trust in their own name. Second point, they can enter into any agreement or they can file case against third party in their own name, but directors cannot use the property of company in their own name. Second, they cannot enter into agreement with their own name or they cannot file case against any third party with their own name. They have to enter into agreement or they can file case against third party by the name of company. Only fourth point is left. In next lecture we will try to complete.